Well, and welcome to the Go Spurs Go Memes podcast, number 31, live but recorded from the Go Spurs Go Memes Network studio. I am your host, Ray, in studio with me today, Sean, Jack, Buddy, and Frank. Gentlemen, I hope you've had a wonderful week. Not really sure what to start off the podcast with. Of course, kind of want to talk about everything that's kind of been going on. So I was pretty saddened yesterday to hear that Garry Shandling passed away yesterday.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. It was surprising, died of a heart attack, but
massive heart attack out of nowhere.
I mean,
nobody saw it coming.
He called 911 and then he collapsed while he was on the phone with them, supposedly.
It's just sad. Loved Garry Shandling. I loved It's Garry Shandling's show.
It was the greatest show in the world.
What was it on, like Showtime? I think
HBO.
HBO.
Was it an old HBO show?
Oh man, I used to freaking love that show back in the 80s. It was just like his humor was just so dry and just his delivery, everything was just so freaking amazing.
It was Norm Macdonald before Norm Macdonald.
Yes, very good.
So dry it left you chapped.
Yeah.
Still great. Oh, I'm still sad.
Oh, I'm really sad about that. What else is going on?
Well, let's cheer us up, Ray.
So is Trump the nominee yet? Did that happen already?
It's close.
No.
It's really close.
I have no mic.
I haven't been paying attention to anything. We'll get close to Buddy
Come
so you
over
can
here.
talk, Frank. Frank loves politics.
Come on,
I do like to bring in.
Tell us what happened with Trump. Go ahead.
So what's going on with Trump?
He won Arizona.
Okay, now it's getting personal. So what we're having now is just.
Ooh, we got to talk about the Cruz crazy cheating with the wife thing.
Exactly. Okay, well, we'll get to that. But
Okay.
so far,
Quiet,
Trump is still in the lead. You've got a lot of people, conservative GOP people, actually now who at first were not. They weren't endorsing Cruz, but they're doing it now.
Yeah.
So Bush is his.
I was going to say Bush went in.
Yeah, he went and
endorsed him.
endorsed Cruz. Now, who else? Mitt Romney is there, and Lindsey Graham so far.
That's just crazy.
They're all just, you could tell, it's not necessarily that they like Cruz, it's the fact that they just really don't want Trump in there.
Well, here's the funny thing. Right now, trending on Twitter is hashtag Trump loves Pecker. Just,
That's a good one.
I don't know why that's going on, but so is hashtag Cruz sex scandal, which was released earlier. Was that today that happened?
That happened earlier today. That boomed out, but it started last night. This actually started from the Twitter battle that they had in the whole with that whole picture
With
of
the
his
wives.
wife.
Right.
That's where it started
But
from.
he came out blaming Trump for that, but it actually turned out it was
nothing to do with-
Rubio.
yeah.
It was Rubio the whole time looking for that.
That is hilarious, man.
I heard it was Gawker that released the sex scandal stuff. Is that not true?
I don't think Gawker's going to be
National
releasing
Enquirer.
anything.
They're doubling down.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to release anything anytime soon, I think. Anyways, gents, I think it's time to go into the news. There's not much news going on, but let's see what's happening in the world of the NBA.
Wow.
Thank you, buddy. Nice segue.
Yeah, that was good, right?
That's good. You're getting better after 31 shows. I think you're getting there, buddy.
I think that was my key right there. I needed 31.
All right, so Dallas Mavericks forward Dirk Nowitzki will pick up his player option for next season and opt into his final year. Rocket center Dwight Howard is interested in rejoining the Orlando Magic this summer in free agency. Isn't that? I'm like,
That makes me laugh out loud.
Circle.
I'm like, I just don't get it. And I actually think Orlando has a pretty good blueprint to becoming a really good team.
Yeah, they do.
But I think if you throw Dwight Howard in
No.
there, I think he just disrupts everything.
I think you have a better chance of getting Van Gundy back.
Okay, let me ask this question. You guys tell me what you think. Dwight Howard, free agent this summer, says, I'll take vet minimum. I want to be a Spur. Do we take him or do we not
my
take him?
God. Vet minimum? I'd
Vet
take him.
minimum.
Vet minimum, I'd take him.
No, just because we have better big guys, even with the
Guys,
vet
we have
minimum.
Andre Miller on our team, guys. I mean, just think about it that way.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the oldest player in the league.
He's the Kevin Willis of this
Okay,
year.
so, come
He's
on.
Kevin
I'll
Willis
deal
of
with vet minimum.
2016.
I can
he
deal with
is.
it.
What do you think, Jack?
No, he does not.
Oh, very good. Okay. All right. Chandler Parsons is also expected to miss the
hate all of you.
playoffs. Why?
I'm just kidding.
Why do you hate me?
Not you.
Because you're pro Dwight Howard?
Well, actually, no. I'm with you, buddy. I would take Dwight Howard too.
I'm a
vet
hooker.
minimum.
I'm a hooker when it comes to free agents, though. I really am.
Yeah. I'd take Dwight Howard for vet minimum. Why not?
Sorry.
But I also say, like, leave him for, like, a one-year deal.
Oh, yes.
1 year,
Most
vet
definitely.
minimum, and then see what happens there.
That's right.
Okay, Chandler Parsons is also expected to miss the playoffs, which is a huge blow for Dallas, who's hoping to compete out west. New Orleans Pelicans GM Dell Demps is second-guessing his decision to hire Alvin Gentry as head coach.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's interesting.
How did that get public?
I don't know. Well, that's like all rumors in here saying.
Well, it got leaked by somebody in the office.
And actually, the crazy thing about that, Jack, is that was straight Wojo the Vertical. Like, that's
Oh,
where that.
wow.
So it's like legit. Like Wojo doesn't just make stuff up. Like he has multiple sources, then it comes out. So I mean, it's a legit thing that's happening there.
You know what's so funny is that they trust these sources, and then all of these people work together, right? So they probably say in the back room, "Look, I never said this about you. Don't worry." And then they go talk. They go call Woj.
Right.
Hey, Woj, that Gentry guy, man, I hate
man,
that
I
jerk.
can't
I want that guy
stand him.
dead in 5 ways.
Just wait like 10 years from now when they're interviewing us about our interpersonal relationships.
They're going to tell us.
What do you think of Frank? I
You know
love
that
him.
Frank. So TMZ came out and said that Zach Randolph has been accused of beating up women. Did you guys hear about that?
Zebo?
Zebo.
No.
Yeah, Zebo is beating up women supposedly.
And I heard he's adamantly denying it, which typically in this case they're not so denying it outright.
Yeah, well, I mean, really, like
Come
he
on.
would be like, "Yeah, it's me."
Sorry.
Like he would just come and be like, "Okay, you got me. Sorry."
It was only a left hook, not my right hook.
Well, how much I gotta pay? You won't catch me next.
She wouldn't get out of the elevator. What, too soon?
Too soon.
Her last name was Kardashian. That's fine.
Whoa.
Whoa! Did you get that one?
Yeah, I did, and I didn't like it.
You didn't like that one?
No,
Come
that
on,
was good.
Sean.
I liked it.
I know.
Go.
Let's see what else. So we know tonight, Danny, Boris, and Patty are out for the Grizzlies game. Tomorrow, Tony, Timmy, and Manu will be out for the
two.
Thunder game and for the Grizzlies on Monday.
So I expect them to get murdered tomorrow, probably.
You think so?
Yeah.
Against the Thunder?
You see, because Timmy solidifies the interior defense. I mean, he
I
really,
agree.
really does.
You know, and that was real noticeable when he was out earlier this year.
Think about it. When he was out, God, we got hammered.
agree.
Yeah.
We were getting points in the paint like crazy.
That's true. Let's see what else. LeBron James has apologized and held a recent meeting with Tyronn Lue and David Griffin to discuss his behavior. Of course, he unfollowed the Cavs Twitter account. He unfollowed.
old is he?
Does anybody know the backstory? There's a whole big old backstory.
Well, what's
to
the
this
backstory to it? Because to me, before you start talking and take like 10 hours,
Okay.
I just want to say that I think it's just him wanting to get attention because nobody cares about LeBron right now. We've said this repeatedly, like all the focus is on the Warriors and Steph Curry. Nobody cares about LeBron, so he does these little silly things to get attention. Go ahead, buddy. Timer's on you.
And actually, that's
Timer's
true.
on you. Frank, are you timing him?
That's true, actually. He does actually. I mean, it's the only reason that he could really be doing that is just for an attention thing. But basically, what happened is that he actually put out something that to Bleacher Report. He did some kind of interview with somebody from Bleacher Report about how he would love to take a pay cut to bring himself, Melo, CP3, and Dwayne Wade all on the same team. A lot of that is stemming from that as well. That's why they had the discussion with him in the first place, because he puts this out, and then they ask all the other three about it. They're like, we don't know anything. And Melo's the only one who said, well, as long as it's someplace warm. Of course, he's like suggesting Miami or something like that.
Of course,
And you see, and that's the thing, is that he's sort of hinting that he wants to go back to Miami is what it is.
Well, supposedly...
I'd be mad if I was a Cleveland
Well,
fan.
the crazy thing, too, is that it just kind of came out this week, too, that when Mickey Arison and Pat Riley tried to do negotiations with him to stay in Miami that last time, a year or two ago, supposedly he was completely disconnected in those meetings. Like, he wouldn't even look at them. Like, he just...
Wow.
Yeah, he was just, like, off on a different planet while they were trying to keep him in Miami. So
He already
just
had
like-
it in mind that he was going to
Yeah, he was going to leave. But, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he went back either. Because, I mean, come on. You know Miami would take him back in a
Oh,
heartbeat.
yeah, in a heartbeat.
So, okay, and finally in the news, I do want to bring up Russ Smith, who set a single-game D-League record with 65 points. Crazy thing is 32 of those points were on layups.
Wow.
Something tells me they were playing the trap game and lost against the...
That was with the 87ers of Delaware.
Sounds like
Which
the
is
old
a
96er from that movie.
which is a fantastic name for a D-League team. Anyways, that's the news. What's going on with the Spurs game right now?
We are only
Well,
up two. I am going to
Up by
screen.
2, 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Okay, guys, we'll be back in a bit. And we're back, and it's time for Spurs discussion. So I think we got to kind of kick off with that wonderful victory that we had here last
Against the
Saturday
Heat,
night,
right,
against the Golden State Warriors. I think we kind of predicted what was going to happen. We said if the Spurs were going to win, Warriors had to play our style of ball. They did. And
Whether they like to or not.
whether they like to or not. And if I'm not mistaken, it was Mr. Sean that said that the Warriors had to shoot very, very horribly, and they did.
I believe I had that.
Yeah. And so basically kind of went how we said. Spurs won. Thoughts on the game, buddy? What do you think?
I thought it was a fantastic statement win. I think we needed that one. If we had lost that game, I would have been even in doubt about playoffs not going into the playoffs, but I mean just being able to get over that mental hump about being able to beat them.
Yeah.
Now we know that we can actually take them on in their own game. And I don't give a crap about what they say about not having Iguodala or Bogut. They still have Spates. They still had Livingston. They still have the people who can actually make the offense move. It's not like Bogut is this like great, piece or anything like that.
I think Iguodala was the biggest.
I think
Yes,
they missed
Iguodala, they missed a lot.
It would have
Yes.
been, I think, a very different game.
It would have been a different.
Yes.
It would have been a little bit different.
And that's why I kind of feel that it wasn't a statement game for the Spurs. It was a big victory, but I don't think it was a big statement win because Bogut and Iguodala weren't there. And I think that you throw Iguodala in, if you throw Bogut in as well, I really do think that could have been a very different game.
I do too.
Were the Warriors going to struggle shooting? Maybe not. Maybe
No,
they
but it
would've
ruins
shot
the
better.
rotation.
It completely ruins the rotation. But either way, it's a great win for the Spurs. The AT&T Center was rocking.
Yep.
People were pumped. And, it's really funny how with the Spurs winning and it looked like they were going to take that game, social media goes in such favor of the Spurs. And it's not just Spurs fans. I'm talking about like NBA people were like, oh, they got him. And look out for San Antonio.
They overblew it.
Yeah, and everybody just over-exaggerates. And it's like,
Because that's been the only song all year is how great the Warriors are.
Right, yeah.
And it's been, drumming along, and justly so. I mean, this is the first real chink in the armor of the Warriors from a good playoff team.
Yeah, and I actually think that some of the most recent Warriors games kind of look like they could be beaten as well. I mean, they always end up pulling it out.
The T-Wolves game was...
The T-Wolves game is an example
Yeah.
there. Yeah, I really do think... But I think they could just be tired, which is what, legitimately,
Yeah.
I mean, we're almost about to hit 82 games for the season. So, but the crazy thing that I'm waiting for is Steve Kerr. What is he going to do about resting his players? Is that going to happen anytime soon, or is it not? Pop's going to start resting the players, started tonight, and you're going to see that with the next 11 games. And so there's really no reason for us to kind of discuss the next upcoming games because you don't know who's going to be playing and what we're actually going to get out of those games. Spurs have locked in the second seed in the West. Thunder isn't going to catch them.
No.
They're not going to catch the Warriors for that one seed. So basically, it's just kind of smooth sailing. Let's relax a little bit before it's time for the playoffs.
Yeah, and I just thought of something would be great if Pop did literally sit everyone and bring up the D-League just to play the Warriors the last time.
We need to
can't
get
do-
Martin integrated more, I think. That's the guy we need to play more.
Yeah.
Do you
and I
think-
think you're kind of starting to see that already.
Do you
Go
think
ahead,
he's going to have the Steve Kerr role of when he was with the Spurs, where he just comes in and scores? Do you think Kmart's going to be in that?
He could, but I think the more thing that you kind of see what Martin does that we never really had is that he's somebody that will get into the lane and get fouled and then go for free throws. So that's kind of one of the things the Spurs have been missing. And right away when you see Kevin Martin, and he's not afraid to kind of charge and go right into the paint. And so that's kind of the role that he's taking up. But he's starting to pick up the Spurs system. He's starting to get those open looks for threes. Now it's about hitting those threes.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I'm just waiting for...
Question real quick about the game. So, are you worried at all that the Spurs only had 13 bench points?
I was going to start talking to you about this.
That's a pretty good point
Yes.
because it's kind of what we've kind of discussed in the past couple of podcasts about how the season started with our starters being very, very slow, and it would be the bench that would come off with Manu being the spark, and the juice unit would come in, and they would basically take the game over. But that would actually push the starters to start playing better. And so that's how the Spurs would win their games. Slow start, second string comes in, gives them that energy push. Starters come back in. They're in the energy. They're
Right.
shooting better. Ball movement's much better, yada, yada, yada.
I think we're getting consistent over 20-point games from Aldridge and Leonard all the time now.
Right.
And so
really
we're not
nice.
needing the offense from the bench like we used to.
But
and you're getting
that
less
is a
shots.
concern, though, because
Well, I mean, look at how many
if
shots they
Kawhi
shot.
or Aldridge start, laying
Tapering
an
off,
egg,
yeah.
if they taper off, will that bench be ready to put some points up on the board for us?
I would like to think so.
Well, I mean, they've done it all year besides really noticeably this game.
Yeah.
And if the bench wants to have one bad game, or excuse me, one non-contributing game, but the starters are contributing, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
It's going to be those games where neither side are going to be contributing, which I don't honestly think will happen.
I mean, they
Between-
didn't play a lot of minutes. The only ones who played any minutes over 15 minutes was Mills and Ginobili, and Mills had 3 points. He didn't play. He was consistently getting burned against Curry.
Yeah, he was.
And Ginobili only had 9 points. So, I mean, everybody else only played like about 8, 10, 8, 3. So it wasn't like they were in there. It looked like they had the starters in there for the majority of the game is what it was. And then they had to keep Green in there for defensive purposes. They had to keep Leonard in there for defensive purposes. So you're going to keep them in there. You're going to see them score more points, I think.
And speaking defensively, one thing that I did love seeing was that the Spurs kept rotating players off of Curry and off of Thompson, and that worked. Like, it completely distorted their shot. It distorted their plan, everything, when they just didn't know who was going to be on them. It worked brilliantly.
I mean, Curry got his three-pointer block, which is only like the third of the year or something like that. The third of the year, considering how many three-pointers he shot this year, that is crazy.
Well, what I thought was really funny is that when that happened, all the NBA people were like, that's the first time it's ever happened this year. No one's blocked Curry's three, whatever. And then the Utah Jazz PR people were like, And they I thought that was really funny.
Way to go, Jazz.
We got hammered, but I blocked their three-pointer.
We did it first. Jesus, that's hilarious. All right. So the next game we want to talk about is the letdown in Charlotte.
Charlotte has a team.
Well, no, they do have a good team. No, they do. They do.
We didn't lose to the Lakers.
But it doesn't matter, though. I don't think that we should have lost to the Hornets, especially what we were up like 23, 20.
We were up 23 in
points.
that game. And we were hammering them in the first half.
And then, I mean, we had so many beautiful basketball passing plays. They were just taking the Hornets to clinic. And then we just let Jeremy Lin come out there, catch on fire, and we just couldn't stop Jeremy Lin, and he got the victory for the Hornets.
Linsanity, bro.
Complete insanity.
It was a complete mental letdown, I think, for them. I don't know what happened to them. They lost their energy in the second half. That's where it completely
it
fell
completely
apart.
did. And I think it was something crazy like the Spurs blew out the first quarter. They had a huge lead over the Hornets.
28-7.
Okay, and then I believe it was the second, third, and fourth quarter. The Spurs actually lost each one of those quarters.
Correct.
Yep. And then the Hornets just took the game, which is just crazy.
I don't want to talk about that one anymore.
And then, of course, we had the Heat here on Thursday. Spurs just completely dismantled them. Had a little bit of scare when Kawhi went out of the game.
Candles were lit.
I know.
Yeah.
La vela.
Yeah. But, what I thought was really funny is, Kawhi left, kind of made a comment about it on social media. Everybody that covers the Spurs was making comments like, hey, Kawhi just left the game. Let's see what happens. Spurs announce he has a quad contusion. He's not coming back to the game. So it's like, okay, that's kind of a relief there. It's just a bruise. So I put up there on I think it was on Facebook or something like that. Just a contusion, sigh of relief, Spurs Nation. What do you mean that's a sigh of relief? It's a contusion. I'm like, you do know
what a contusion is?
You do know that that's a big word for bruise, right?
I wish you would have put like the meme where it says, it's not a tumor.
Yeah, but people really panicked at the contusion term.
The one thing that, not about the Spurs, but about the Heat. It's funny how the Heat are basically the second or third best team in the East, and even at the second or third best team in the East, they had absolutely no chance against us.
Yeah.
Like,
that
tells you a lot about the
I'm
East.
kind of looking forward to. I think it's next week. We play the Raptors, and I really want to see how we do on that game.
I was just going to bring up the Raptors. They look good
because we did horrible when we were in Toronto at the beginning of the season.
We tend to not ever be good in Toronto. Am I right?
Right. I think you're actually right. Yeah, we always kind of. I think it's
the currency exchange. Yeah, it's something.
Ooh, what's his name just got hurt?
It's all those mooses.
Lance Stevenson got hurt.
Oh, that's another one from Memphis.
Golly, man.
Oh no!
They just have like a black cloud on that franchise for injuries right now.
Somebody's got a voodoo doll up in there.
Womp. Anyways, that's Spurs discussion. We'll be back in a bit.
Hey guys, this is Clay here with the Go Spurs Go Memes podcast. I'm your correspondent in the street. It's game day. Forget Batman versus Superman. Forget Captain America versus Iron Man. The Battle of the Titans is happening right now at the AT&T Center as the Warriors take on the San Antonio Spurs in the Spurs' best start in their home court history. And the Warriors are off to the best start in their whole franchise history. It is an amazing, amazing game. And I'm sitting here with a super Spurs fan. Hey, what's your name?
My name is Matthew.
Matthew. Now, Matthew, what are you seeing in tonight's game game that is surprising you? And what are you seeing in this game that you wish you could change?
Well, I was really happy that Steph wasn't hitting his threes, but now he's hitting his threes, so that's not super exciting for me. And some questionable calls, but it is what it is. And
Saying the whistles are keeping the Warriors in this?
I'm just saying there's maybe a little bit of maybe a little bit of a golden boy complex going on.
Go hashtag Golden Boys on social media, everyone. Hashtag Golden Boys. Do you think the Spurs have a chance to pull out this victory? By the way, folks, we are only in the third quarter. What time are we starting this? How much time is left in the game we're talking right now?
Well, we're in between third and fourth right now. 12.
Yeah, so we just ended the third quarter, going into the fourth. We don't know the outcome. We'll talk about this game at the outcome again to see our reactions. But right now, Matthew is watching a commercial with a very tiny horse scaring larger horses. Now, Matthew's also using his smartphone to watch the game, a way that watching basketball has evolved. What's your favorite app to watch basketball games on?
Definitely Fox Sports Go, unless they don't have it, and then it would be watch ESPN.
Yeah, and if they don't have that, you can always tune in to the radio and listen to Bill Shoney do his, oh, mama, kind of, that's Bill Land. Oh, what does Bill Shoney say? You know anything? Do your best basketball announcer. Okay, ready? Ready? Watch this. I'm going to set you up. This is what's going on in the game. Kawhi Leonard at the top of the key, guarded by Steph Curry. Kawhi, hand in his face, shoots a long-range jumper, and you say...
Kawhi not.
Kawhi not. We're going to check back in with you guys as the fourth quarter rolls on, but the Spurs are currently winning, right? Or what's going on what's the score right now?
I believe it's tied.
It's tied up. But we're not winning?
I don't remember.
How could you not remember?
I'm a terrible person.
You're a terrible person. Well, we'll check in just a second, folks, and a few more minutes go into the game here. Tied at 65-65. Fourth quarter about... You're not. You just have a terrible memory.
I got it right.
You need ginkgo biloba. Well, I didn't know. You didn't know you got it right. How do you know you got it right?
I looked it up.
Well, that's cheating.
No, it's subtle.
In Jeopardy, no one asks the question and then goes, Siri, tell me. Okay, we'll check back in a little bit. It's about 6 minutes into the game, folks. The game is tight. Matthew and I are going back and forth. Spurs are up by 4, I think, right now. We're having a lot of fun here. Tight game. So both of the Splash Brothers missed threes.
Both of them, dude, walking down.
Oh, man. Roland, what are you thinking? What are you thinking, Roland? I think we're going to win. We're going to win! I hope. We're up by 6, right?
Yeah.
How many seconds are left?
And we have the ball now.
We've got possession.
Well, I think he's shooting.
11.5. Have you ever heard of the Go Spurs Go Memes podcast?
Oh, yeah, Ray.
Yeah, Ray. That's all you know from the podcast?
No, I mean, I know Ray.
That's the worst person to know on the Go Spurs Go Memes podcast. I'm Clay with Spurs in the City, and we're watching the game here, Roland. Welcome to the game. It's all right. 87-79 Spurs, 10 seconds. Oh, man, it's tense, folks. 5. No good. Nothing. Spurs win. Spurs win. Woo! Home court is protected. The San Antonio Spurs send the Golden State Warriors packing. Let's go party. What do you think? Here we go. Go Spurs, go!
Now, you know what that music means. It's time to talk NCAA basketball. But the funny thing, and what a lot of people don't know, is that kind of feminine voice that's singing along with Macklemore is actually Clay. Yeah, a lot of people didn't know that, but that's actually Clay doing that. Anyways,
side
Jack.
Nice. Yeah, so we are.
Yeah, it is Clay. It really is.
Wow.
It's Clay. I promise you. He's pretty good, isn't he?
That sounds very good.
He has a very, very amazing voice.
So we're 3/4 of the way through the Sweet 16.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hadn't had a whole lot of crazy upsets. But you know what? Let's check on the tournament challenge.
Rock chalk.
We got some. They're still alive.
I don't know why I had to say that so loud, but I did. Rock chalk.
Coco right now is in the lead.
Oh, not him. Okay. Listen, Go Spurs Go Memes Nation. We cannot let Lil Coco win this. Little Coco is a personal friend of the show, but we cannot let Lil Coco win this entire tournament.
Sad thing
Tell
though,
me how. Everything's been done already.
he does have Kansas as the champions.
I think I'm on your
He's got
only
a
hope
good
at this
shot.
point.
So
I'm your
he
only
is
hope.
tied with Gray Whisker right now. Gray Whisker 1.
Come on, Gray Whisker one.
I'm with Bernie is in third, who's only 10 points behind. Buddy the Engineer, congratulations. You're tied for fourth right now. With,
And this is out of 5,000 entries.
Josiah.
No, that's what I'm
Josiah
telling you. It's
420.
big time here, bro.
And Ray, congratulations. You're tied for seventh right now.
Woohoo!
Only
Sixth
40
place
points
loser.
behind.
40
So,
points. 40 points. Rock chalk.
So yesterday, we had the first half of the Sweet 16. No crazy, upsets or anything. Villanova looked strong, winning over
Nova.
Miami. Kansas rolled Maryland. I was very upset and half drunk.
Half Jack, half.
Exactly.
At least for the first 5 minutes.
There you go. Then it went full drunk.
Yeah,
quick.
and then went full drunk real quick. OU closed the first half on a 19-4 run, and it never really got close after that. And then Duke lost to Oregon, which a lot of people did have Duke. They thought they could overtake Oregon.
No way. Oregon's like
I
really
thought-
good. Did you think?
I
did you
thought
think-
Oregon was the weakest of the one seeds.
I agree with you there.
Yes.
I do agree with you, but I did not think that they were going to lose to
I also
Duke.
thought they were the weakest of the 3 seeds, which they really should have been, but somehow they got a 1.
Well, I mean, Duke is not very good, though. I mean, I think they're
Duke's
very overrated.
first 5
to be
is
honest with you.
okay.
Yeah,
Duke
they
is
just don't have a
overrated.
bench. They have
Exactly.
nothing.
Duke
coming
is
up.
name only. It's kind of like Notre Dame. Notre Dame sucks in all their sports, but
Yeah.
everybody cares about them just because of their name. It's
Very
true.
true.
And then
Speaking of Notre
that
Dame,
little
Jack, do we have an
Irish-
update on that?
God, here we go.
I'll get to it. Yes. So, Brandon, we've been talking about Brandon Ingram.
Yes.
Had a great tournament. Had 69 points in the 3 games. I still think he's a top 3 pick. But did you hear about the other thing that happened in the game? So,
No.
10 seconds left. Oregon is up 10 points, 11 points, something like that. And they're killing clock. And a guy named Dylan Brooks, who is kind of the big player for Oregon, just chucks up a shot as the shot clock was going down, makes a 3. So kind of not a great classy move. The game is well out of reach. After the win, they're going through the handshake and everything. Coach K kind of leans into him, says something, which Dylan Brooks says.
You're better
He
than
says, "You're too good of a player to be showing off like that." It's a whisper. No one really hears it. They ask Dylan Brooks about it. He says, that's what he said. They ask Coach K about it, and he first says, I didn't say that. And then when they say, well, no, Dylan Brooks said that you said this. And then Coach K kind of backpedaled, and he's like, well, he's a great player, but just say whatever you want, whatever. So the two big questions of this is, was he right in hitting the 3 and shooting the 3, or could he just have handed the ball to the ref, taken the shot clock violation, kind of like kneeling at the end of a football game?
Yeah.
Second question, probably a little bit more racy, is Coach K is probably one of the best coaches of our life. Is he wrong for trying to coach or correct an opposing team's player?
Ooh.
I have both
Sean?
answers.
Yes.
One, I'm blaming it just on youth that he just shot up a 3. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, if it's going to buzz,
Definitely.
I could see that happen in the NBA. I mean, myself. I still think he was wrong, but I'm blaming it more on ignorance and youth. The second
He got
part,
caught up in the moment.
The second part, I don't know any player that plays college basketball that wouldn't want to be coached by Coach K. So if he's actually going to tell you something,
Yeah, that's very true.
That's
I would-
true.
That's a very good point,
I would
Sean.
take it as complete compliment that he took the time to coach me.
And
that's what he said too. He goes, and afterwards, I remember reading the transcript. He goes, and Coach K was completely right.
very true. Yeah,
And-
he did say that.
and-
From what I understand,
is
he
that-
does this in every game. I think.
Good.
Does he not?
Coach K?
Yeah, from what I read somewhere that he does this to every game. Like he goes and he takes the time and he shakes each players and he tells them one little thing. Apparently, every
Special
player.
K. Awesome.
So
Fantastic.
then, so then, if it's not completely uncommon that he does this,
No,
but-
No.
yeah, I think it's in this situation completely okay.
Done. Next question.
All right,
Jack.
fair enough. So earlier today,
Well done, Sean.
earlier today, you had Virginia, taking out Iowa State.
Genya.
Another team that's still
Just had
alive
to
that
put
A&M
that-
beat during the regular season. And then yes, Notre Dame, Sean, your Notre Dame Fighting Irish did come back to beat Wisconsin.
I believe they're in the Elite Eight.
Although
meaning
it
they're
was
one of the
last.
an
8 best
incredibly
teams,
ugly game.
which all of them have been. They should have lost every one of their games. I will happily admit, but they are now in the Elite Eight
So
again.
much. And actually, my favorite game of the week, at least these first two days, Gonzaga and Syracuse it's a 1-point game at the half. I really think this is going to be a good game.
I hope Gonzaga wins.
Zaga.
Gonzaga has two of the greatest
This is Ray's contribution to
players
this segment.
It really
we've ever
is.
talked about.
I just like saying things.
Are you talking about their big guys?
They've got two big guys. They've got. Let me find it where my notes are.
Is it not the Rock Diamond guy?
It is not the
It
Rock
is not
Diamond
Rock
guy.
Turquoise,
No,
buddy.
I'm sorry.
He was eliminated
Which one
already.
of the Hansborough kids is it this time?
They've got a 6'10" kid, Kyle
Cecil.
Witcher.
Cecil Hansborough.
Cecil Hansborough. He's 5 from 8 so far in the league. He can shoot the 3, which is how I think that Gonzaga is going to beat the Syracuse defense. And here's the name that I was going to bring up.
Oh, here we go.
Domantas Sabonis.
Hey, perfect.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Sabonis.
That's Sabonis' kid,
That's
right?
Sabonis' kid.
I remember. I forgot about this
Yep,
completely.
he's 6'11". He's their second highest scorer. He's averaging 17.5 points and 11 rebounds a game. He actually started playing professionally in Lithuania at the age of 16. He was on the Lithuanian national team that won
Child labor.
the Eurobasket 2015.
Yes.
And now he's a sophomore at Gonzaga. And
Wow. And Wally Zerbiak's his uncle.
For a split second. For a split second. Because you know I love Wally Zerbiak.
Yeah, I know you do. That's why I just had to throw that in there.
I was like,
that's why exactly
really?
I said it, and I looked right at Sean because he started smiling and then realized that I was lying.
Yes. I was like,
He thought about it for just.
I love Wally. I've always loved Wally Zerbiak.
His face lit up like a
Yeah,
child.
it did light up, and then he just stopped.
I think I
great.
told you that 10 years ago. I can't believe you remember that.
Of course, I remember everything.
all right, so this weekend we got Kansas
story, guys.
Villanova. Villanova is probably the surprise of the tournament.
They are
They're
so
playing really good.
Nova.
They might beat Kansas. I don't know. You got Oregon, Oklahoma, which I think unless Buddy Hill just goes off, which he might,
Yes.
I think Oregon wins that. You've got
Wait a minute. Wait. Why would we say that? I thought we were surprised that Oregon's even there, but
Oh,
yet
I think
Oklahoma
No.
trashed.
Oklahoma's going to take Oregon.
Oh, you think so?
I think Oklahoma
Yeah, I
takes
don't-
Oregon.
I don't see it down on that
I
one.
agree.
Yeah, I
I
don't see it
really
down
do
on that
think
one.
Oklahoma.
Well, fair enough.
When is that game?
That game would
Sunday?
be tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay.
And then you've got the winner of the UNC-Indiana game right now that UNC is up 43-27.
They're killing them.
And they're going to play Notre Dame. And then you've got
North Carolina's going to kill him.
Yeah, they killed them in the
Virginia.
ACC tournament. They
Yeah.
killed them by 20.
Yep,
like
true.
right before.
and then you've got Virginia.
St. Patty's Day's
versus
over.
The, Gonzaga and Syracuse. No, it is 153 days till football, college
Yes.
football.
Yes.
You know that I actually know the exact date because you do this every week. I'm like, what day is it? 156 days left. Okay, good.
Which, well, Sean, you had something you wanted to talk about with
Yes.
college football,
Real
so
quick,
what do you
real
wanna talk
quick.
about?
The big news this week wasn't any recruits. It was the just off the cobwebs.
I
Yeah.
had to pull that out for you guys.
I am really happy now.
You have no idea how big our smiles are on our faces hearing that song. Right?
It's like legitimately happy.
All right.
move that down.
All right, so real quick.
Go ahead. Now the fun's over.
So the big news this past week was a little interaction between the Ohio State athletic director Gene Smith and Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh. Ohio State athletic director Gene Smith talking about, are you guys thinking about having camps down in SEC country, Florida, like Michigan did this past month? He goes, yeah, if we were jumpstarting our program, maybe, but we're in a different place. Shots fired. Harbaugh responded with the
Kill
best
you and
one.
your family.
No. Get ready. Good to see Director Smith being relevant again after that whole tattoo fiasco. Welcome back.
That's money right there.
I would like to say Jim Harbaugh is the Donald Trump of college football.
Yeah, he is.
You don't want to get in an argument because he will win.
That guy scares me, man. I think catching that guy in a dark alley somewhere, he'd kill you.
Oh, hell
He's
yeah.
wearing his khakis, just kicking your ass.
That's crazy, man.
That'd be great, guy. How great is that?
awesome.
That's just so good.
Okay, Jack.
Back to Jack.
Back to Jack.
Well, there is, NFL free agency going on right now. There's been kind of some big moves, some stuff that we like. You got the Giants picked up a few key guys on defense. They were able to retain Pierre Paul, which I think probably makes them good enough as long as Eli has a good.
Yeah.
I think they can make a run for
As
the
long as
playoffs.
he keeps the rest of his hand.
Yeah, for real. I think Cleveland.
Stay away from the Black Cats.
No more Black
Cleveland
Cats.
had like the worst ever. Well, which
So many
Cleveland's
people just left.
Cleveland's just a bad team anyway. Travis Benjamin is probably he's going to San Diego, which he caught 86 passes last year, had 8 touchdowns from Josh McCown. Well, in the last 2 years, from McCown, Manziel, Hoyer, and Connor Shaw.
So he can work with any quarterback.
What's he going to do with Phillip Rivers, who can actually throw the ball?
I think he's going to have
he's
huge
going to have a great
fantasy year.
I'm happy the Texans able to somehow get Brock Osweiler out of Denver. They also picked up Lamar Miller from Miami.
That's an excellent pickup.
Which I think is great. I mean, yeah, we paid for it, but
Yeah.
with the defense
I'm
pretty
hoping-
much holding serve.
I mean, you have to admit their offense was awful last year. I mean, if they
Yeah,
had
for
a better offense, they would have easily been able to go to the AFC.
So all right, real quick question. Who do you think they're going to go after in the draft since they answered 2 of their biggest questions on offense? Do you think they're going to go after safety help, cornerback?
Yeah, I think it's defense, just
Yeah.
to solidify defense. Maybe linebacker.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking too.
Definitely.
Okay, sorry.
I liked a move that the Falcons made. They upgrade their offensive line with Alex Mack. And then I really like the Mohamed Sanu pickup. Roddy White, is kind of getting old. He was a free agent. They did let him go. But now you've got Mohamed Sanu on one side from Cincinnati. And then Julio
he was
Jones.
really good too. He was underrated in Cincinnati.
Very, very much so.
Yeah.
Julio Jones on the other side, which, all the attention's still going to go to Julio Jones. Sanu can definitely beat one-on-one coverage. He can run reverses. And last year he was actually 5 for 5 throwing the ball and had 2 touchdowns.
I'm seeing
they
a
can
dual
use-
threat.
They can use him in the Wildcat and in fake stuff too. Denver pretty much lost their entire backfield.
Yeah.
They were able to keep C.J. Anderson, which
After they matched him.
he almost did go to Miami. They lost a couple key guys on defense, Malik Jackson, Danny Trevathan, but they did keep Von Miller, gig him, all that good stuff. I heard he went to go. I heard Von Miller actually took a helicopter to go see the Aggies play because he didn't want to drive in all of the traffic.
Dude, I would love to do that.
Right? Yes.
That's such a D-bag thing to do, I have to say. That is a
Are you
real
telling me you
But if
wouldn't
you've
do it
got
if
the
you had the
money-
money? Yeah.
I guess.
Buddy, you be coming on that copter so fast.
big jetpack?
I know.
And actually, a surprising move, Denver signed Mark Sanchez.
That's a
Still
great
don't get
follow-up.
Yeah.
Oh, what's the biggest surprise?
The biggest surprise.
RG3.
RG3
Oh,
to
yeah, it's
Cleveland.
It makes sense. He's the only guy left. Like Cleveland got to have a
I
quarterback.
got to tell you, Cleveland is a place where quarterback careers die.
Yeah.
It's
and
very
and the
true.
How
sad thing
appropriate.
is, Cleveland's still probably going to draft in the first round a quarterback to go sit behind RG3 for a couple years. Cowboys were pretty quiet. They did resign Lance Dunbar and offensive lineman Charles Brown, Rolando McClain.
They got Alfred Morris, though. That guy.
They did, yeah. They picked up. Alfred
I think
Morris.
that's
That's a
really
good
good.
pickup.
I think that'll be good.
Because he was a 7th round pick from Rutgers 4
sure.
years ago.
I'm not sure where he's from.
And he ended up getting 1,600 yards his rookie year.
Yeah.
And then he just ended up getting banged up. And then the Redskins are, of course, notoriously
Redskins.
great offensive line, which is non-existent. But no, I think that's a really underrated good sign.
Yeah. It's still a lot of big names out there. Ryan Fitzpatrick is a really
Crappy quarterback.
kind of crappy quarterback that the Jets don't want to pay, but he wants to get paid.
He's got him in a bad position.
You still got Roddy White. You got Reggie Bush out there. Dallas can't figure out what to do with Greg Hardy, Percy Harvin. And then you also got NFL new rules. Came in. Did y'all hear about these?
I did.
So the new rules, the big two are now it is you will be ejected or disqualified if you have 2 personal
Personal
fouls. Unsportsmanlike conduct kind of things, which some of the players are kind of iffy about. And then I think the big one that's going to backfire in their face, which luckily
Touchbacks?
Yeah, the touchback thing. So touchbacks now go to the 25, thinking that it's if you receive it.
I think Frank wants to say something, Jack.
No, I was going to say.
I think so, too.
He's
No, I was
bouncing
gonna say,
buddy
the
to
back
snuggling.
row,
He's on my leg.
is what you're going to see now. Our kickers basically what they do with punting, kicking it within the 5.
Exactly.
Exactly.
They're trying to get it where yes, if I catch a kick in the end zone, I don't want to run it out,
Yeah.
which is great. But the kickers are good enough in the NFL to be able to pinpoint it on the goal line or on the 2. And that'll be it.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Jack. We will be back in just a bit.
Hey everyone, this is Jorge Alvarez, in-arena host for SS&E, the Stars and the Spurs, and you're listening to Go Spurs Go Memes.
Hey guys, it's Clay here with Spurs in the City. I am here with the whole crew, Jack, Ray, that's basically it. Oh, lights turning off. Batman's about to start. Ray, are you excited?
I'm very excited. Very, very excited.
Okay.
Now go sit down because you're in the way of the
Oh my God,
screen.
yes. Oh my God, the movie just ended. Ray, Jack the intern, and the Spur among the men. Spurs on the street. Not you, no one's talking to you. It's not all about you. Sorry, there's a random guy sitting next to Ray who thinks he's in this. He's not. We just saw Dawn of Justice. Ray, initial thoughts.
I did shed manly tears. I will say that, but it was.
I shed those in my pants as well.
Your eyes still look watery right now.
They are.
It was brilliant. Need a.
All I can say is suck it, Ultron. Jack, what do you think?
Can I have my 2.5 hours back?
You are so God. Jack. For those of you who don't know, Jack is bald. He is our Lex Luthor. All right, Jack. Still though, pretty good.
Yeah, it was all right.
If he said meh, I was gonna hit him. Guys, this is the second Spurs in the City segment for this week. I know, it's quick. As always, I don't even know what my name is. I'm still in shock from that movie. Clay, Jack, and Ray signing off. Go check out Dawn of Justice. And as always, go... screw the Spurs. Batman rules!
All right, guys, we got a new segment that we're doing. Movie reviews. So from here on out, we're hitting the time for big blockbuster movies to be coming out for 2016. So every time a big blockbuster comes out, we will be doing a review on it. It may not, today it's going to be me and Jack, but in the future, it may not be me and Jack. It may be Buddy and Frank. It may be Sean. Who knows who's going to be doing it, but there will be two of us sitting down kind of talking about it. The way that we're going to do these reviews is we're going to kind of tell you what we thought. If we do spoilers, we're going to warn you we're going to do spoilers, and then we'll come back to it. And what we're also going to do is at the very end, to give you our recommendation, is we're simply going to say either see it or wait. So either go see it in the movie theaters or wait till it comes out Netflix or Redbox. Cool? All right. So today, Jack and I are going to be reviewing the big movie, the movie that people have been waiting for 3 years to see, Batman versus Superman. So there were screenings on that started on Monday. I did get to see it on Monday, and then I saw it again with Jack today. So I know how I kind of feel about this film, but I love that Jack got to see this film too, because Jack is not a comic book nerd. None of that stuff really matters to him. He wasn't even fussed on seeing this movie today. He just really didn't care. But we had an extra ticket, so I'm glad Jack was able to come with us.
It gave you something to do.
It gave you something to do for today.
Either that or laundry. So.
Yeah. All right, Jack.
I might have rather done laundry.
Okay. So let's go, Jack. I'll go ahead and let you go first. Tell me what you thought of Batman versus Superman.
For the amount of build-up, I think honestly you said it the best. It was a movie made for the fans.
You are 100% correct.
There were definitely things I missed. There were things that did not make sense. The first half of the movie was very choppy, with different flashbacks and different backstories and things like that. A couple of things didn't make sense, which spoilers. So I still have no idea how Lex Luthor knows how to make the big evil guy. If he just knows that, or
Doomsday.
Yeah. I no idea. Did he just get lucky or what? It was cheesy at a couple of times that they had to have the iconic mismatch or the iconic shots, which movies are going to do that. Some parts were dreams that you didn't really know that were dreams until 15 minutes later, kind of thing. But for what it was, a comic book movie, it was about what I expected. My official review is probably I would have waited.
Okay.
Will I see the next one? Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll probably wait until it goes to Redbox or HBO or something like that.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So
it was
it
was fun.
Like I said, I'm glad that Jack was there because I wanted to see what Jack thought about this film because I know that for me, being a comic book person, I'm pretty much emotionally invested into these type of films. And so this was a big film that I was kind of waiting for. And so seeing this film, the couple of things that I would kind of point out is one, the cinematography is amazing. The shots, the scenes, that opening was fantastic. But I can see what Jack is talking about being choppy and the editing, because basically what Zack Snyder has done in this film is that he's kind of weaved a story together that basically has about 5-6 different stories that are going at the same time.
Yeah.
And at the very end, he kind of ties all that up. But as Jack said, it is a movie made for comic book fans. If you are a hardcore DC comic fan, you are absolutely going to love this movie. I am a hardcore DC Comics fan. I absolutely love this movie. But I could tell, watching this movie, I'm like, people aren't going to get this. People aren't going to get all these Easter eggs because the movie is filled with Easter eggs. There's references to other characters. There's references that this world is, the DC extended universe with this film is established. And it's basically been giving you all these hints that there's these other characters that are out there. There are other things that are happening in this world. And so what I can honestly say is that what DC did in 2.5 hours is what it took Marvel 10 movies to do. The difference is that Marvel aimed their movies at the general audience. DC aimed it at DC fans. So if you look at the reviews, you're going to have a lot of critics saying that they absolutely hated it. They hated the editing. They didn't just like the way that the movie was made. But if you look at what the fans are saying, the fans have completely loved this film. So my advice to you is if you want to see this movie, go see it. My call is to see it now. See it in the theater. If you have the opportunity to see it in IMAX, that's where you want to see it.
Yeah,
because
that's very true.
I can't
visually. It was a very awesome movie to be able to see on a big screen.
So I would say if you have the opportunity to go to the IMAX, see it in IMAX. I would totally see it in the theater. This is a movie that I plan to see a couple of more times because I know there are things that I missed. But overall, it was really well done. I have no shame in saying that I had manly tears in my eyes during certain points of this film.
And the folks behind us that were like sobbing.
There were people crying and sobbing. And I'm telling you, it was made for DC fans.
It was crazy.
And, it's just absolutely... I was very shocked. So spoiler right here. I couldn't get over that Zack Snyder killed Superman. I couldn't get over it. And I knew it was going to happen. I knew that was going to happen in this film. But seeing the emotion, seeing what he did with the character to kind of build up with that. And I think one of the biggest complaints from Man of Steel was that this was not the Superman that we knew, that he was not that big blue Boy Scout. He wasn't the hero. At the end of this film, he is that hero. And I kind of felt that kind of got to me leading up to how he is killed or whatever. But yeah, the movie's great. Jesse Eisenberg is Lex Luthor, a completely different spin. It's not a Lex Luthor you've ever seen before. He's diabolical. He's evil. I thought he pulled it off really well. Gal Gadot completely stole it as Wonder Woman. I kind of felt when she came out, she basically took that movie over. And
Where the hell did she come from?
Yeah, that's the thing is like, spoiler, when Wonder Woman comes out, it is kind of out of nowhere. But she did really well. I'm pumped about watching Wonder Woman next summer. I'm pumped even more to see Suicide Squad in August.
That trailer was freaking awesome.
Amazing, right? Yeah, so maybe I think Jack and I should see Suicide Squad, and then we'll come and review it on here if the guys can't come. But yeah, it's a fantastic trailer. It looks great. So anyways, like I said, guys, we'll be doing movie reviews from here on out. Jack's recommendation is to go ahead and wait till Redbox or Netflix. My recommendation is to go see it in theaters now. If you can see it in IMAX, that's how you should see it. Ignore the reviews. It really is good. But know that if you are not a comic book fan, you're probably not going to like it. If you did not like Man of Steel, you're not going to like Batman versus Superman. And I will tell you this as well. If you love Marvel films and if you're going in thinking this is a Marvel movie, you're going to hate Batman versus Superman. It is not a Marvel film at all. It is dark. It is gloomy. These heroes are in the real world. They're not campy. There's no jokes. That's what Batman versus Superman is. We'll be back in a bit. It's time for Crazy Stories of the Week. God. I laugh every time you play this music, buddy, because it's just so money.
It's like so over the top is what it is.
It really is. So what should we start with? I know we got a couple crazy stories. I think we do. Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Okay. So I kind of want to start with the Cat Williams thing.
Yes.
That's the story of the week.
That really is the story of the week right there. So Cat Williams, famous comedian who is absolutely hilarious. He got beat up by a seventh grader.
Seventh grader.
Boy.
Oh boy, okay. I thought it was a girl. That was so much better. If it was a girl.
That would have been better if it
was better if it was a girl. I don't even know how this whole thing started.
So I watched it before I came over here.
Okay.
So I think I'm on the.
You're on the up and up, Sean.
I think I'm on the up and up. He looks. I mean, he in the segment he says, "Man, I just got out of jail." He looks like he just got out of jail. He looks rough. He looks tired. His hair is straight up and a little bit to the side. So he's obviously slept in a jail. Everybody's following him.
Is that
Guys, as somebody
the
who's,
default rate?
I mean,
Okay.
some of us have seen the law up front close, personal.
I don't have hair, so it's
Yes.
His beard
Your
would go one
goatee
way.
would be all jacked up.
as somebody stated earlier, Jack is the Lex Luthor of this show.
That's true.
So back to
So,
Cat
anyways,
Williams.
and it looks like he's walking through a underfunded area where many people are at. I'm trying to. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, got it.
And well, everybody's coming out. They're like, cat. Yeah, and he's all talking about what's going on in his life. He got in jail. And then this one kid is like, I just started with him, and you can tell the kid's like getting up in his face. He's like, "You best step back, son. Best step back."
That's the funniest thing. I thought.
The story in the beginning was that he was handing out money.
Which again is crazy.
Why was he handing out money? That's stupid.
Walking around
He was
handing
in
out money.
Gainesville, outside Atlanta, handing out cash.
Did
It's
you know
unclear
that
how
Gainesville is in Six-Toe County?
Wow, that's amazing.
Did you know
fact.
that?
I wonder how they got that name.
I think that's what we'll name the episode. Six-toe
Look it up.
County.
I guarantee you, it's Six-Toe County.
That's a perfect name for
That's
this
a
episode.
perfect name episode.
So, anyways, this kid gets in his face saying he's going to beat him up, going to beat him up, going to beat him up.
Go ahead, Sean.
Cat Williams punches him in the face. The kid walks away for a little bit. Oh. And then the kid comes back, throws him in like a full Nelson, takes him straight to the ground. Comes to find out the kid's like a very accomplished amateur wrestler in his middle school.
Vince McMahon's calling.
Oh, how great would that be? WrestleMania's around the corner. Clay's all mad. Anyways,
Oh, hell, dude. If Cat Williams ends up at WrestleMania, you would have called that before everybody.
I believe I just did. Frank, put this in the can. We're pulling
Buddy, write that down somewhere.
Writing it down.
Put this on your Insta paper that you and Ray use. Anyways, the kid takes him down,
Jealous.
and then they pull him apart, and then the rest of the time, Cat Williams goes, "You lucky kid, you lucky." I was like, "Who's lucky in this?"
You're the one who's lucky, not dead.
I was like, "This guy, he's pulling the psychological game now."
Oh man, because that thing went viral. Like that whole video just went nuts. But I thought it was funny because like people had like different angles and everything. It was fantastic. Okay, so we're laughing because here at the studios we have the Spurs game up on
And the Coyote just landed on.
Some poor
some
spectator.
poor guy in yellow.
I'm not completely
Oh, he's
sure.
putting his knees up.
He just did the Hogan leg drop.
Like the
The
reverse.
tail hit him right in the crotch.
That was bad.
I don't even know what that was.
So bad.
I don't even know what he was doing there.
I don't
man.
even know what that was.
Anyways.
Anyways, okay, so what's the next crazy story, buddy?
The next crazy story is actually, well, you know what? Actually, now because you threw me off on that one.
Why did I throw you off on that one?
I got something.
What do you got? What do you got, Sean?
Okay, evidently there was a man, I want to say it was in Florida or California, was at a sushi place, evidently asked somebody, oh, blah, 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 blah. He pulls out a snake from his pocket.
Oh, he got mad and he left the snake in there, right?
No. He pulled the snake out of his pocket at first. The sushi owners asked him to leave, kicked him out. He goes to his car, grabs a 13-foot python, throws it in there, yells something, and then drives off.
Oh my god!
What did he yell?
I don't want to guess.
Oh, come on. Somebody's got to guess what he
No,
what
my
it is.
goddaughter's here. I can't guess. Something. Say hello to my little snake. I don't know. But yeah, that was I was like, who does that?
That's amazing.
It's pretty up there. Frank, you got a good story this week?
Sean, Buddy, do you have your story ready?
No, I still don't have it.
Jack, what weird thing happened to you this week?
There's got to be something weird that's happened to you, Frank. Jack.
Poor Jack. Jack, you're weird. What happened to you this week?
I'm just watching Gonzaga win.
Are they going to win?
They're up right now.
Good.
Okay, well, you know what? Well, then you know what? Then let's talk about the. Did we already go over this ad nauseum with the Ted Cruz thing?
But no, we can keep going. I'm completely
think we talked
entertained
about
by
it.
this. Oh, we didn't talk. Well, that's a crazy story of the week. So Ted Cruz is accused of cheating on his wife 5 times. Right? It was
Well,
5
yes,
times.
I'm glad somebody was outside with a counter.
And I heard that it was coworkers,
Yep.
a hooker, and can't think of what the other one was.
I love how one of the article titles is "The National Enquirer has been right before."
What do they do?
Oh man, come on, really? I'm trying to find out how many.
It was 5. I know it was 5. It's 5, but I can't remember what the other one. Maybe a teacher or like Sunday school teacher or something like that.
We're just gonna make up names.
Does it really matter?
It doesn't really matter.
All I want somebody to make a thing. How many times? And you have Booker T. 5 times. 5 times. Oh, that'd be so great.
That is a pretty hilarious story, though. You have to admit.
Was this week kind of weak on news? I mean, Hulk Hogan really set the bar up last week.
He really did.
I mean, Cat
will
Williams
admit
is
that.
really the only real crazy thing. Yeah,
Huh?
He got more money from those people too.
Yeah, he got
you know?
another,
Yeah, he
20,
did.
How much
got
more?
another $25 million.
Oh, that's crazy.
And that's from the guys. That's not from Gawker.
No.
So
Yeah.
they get it straight from those guys personally. So it's,
Which the Gawker guys think that it's all going to get appealed.
yeah, they seem to think that they've got a good case. I don't understand how.
I really do think that it's going to get appealed, and the money's not going to be what it's been awarded so far. I think it's going to go down a lot, but he's still going to get paid.
But well, think about it too. This could be, or more than likely, is the end of Gawker, Deadspin. What is it? Kotaku, and
Gizmodo.
Gizmodo.
Oh man, don't kill me with that one. That's it. Kill me. Oh God.
Okay, so I'm showing Sean something because I'm going to talk about this right now. So
Go ahead, do it.
So a handmade, who should I vote for? And so it's basically what do you call it? Not a pie, like a pie graph, I guess. No, what do you call that, Sean? Like where you bust it down?
Deuteronomy.
Yes, that thing too.
Onomatopoeia.
So basically, you ask yourself these questions. You say yes or no, and it'll tell you which candidate you want to vote for. So is shit broken? No.
Ooh, we should all play.
No. Okay. Hold on. No. Oh, let me just go.
No, we should all play. Like, we'll answer the questions, and you tell us who we should vote
Well, no,
for.
it's not that big. That's what I'm saying. Like, we'll just do it real quick.
Okay.
We'll just sit all together. Okay. So no. If you think that nothing's wrong with the country, nothing's broken, then you ask yourself this next question: are women people? If you vote yes, if you think yes, you should vote for Hillary Clinton. If you say no, you should vote for Kasich. Now,
Casinage.
Kasich. I say Kasich. I like to use the cabbage.
You're still having that problem with the names thing, aren't you?
I love doing it on purpose because then you try to correct me, jerk. Okay, so if you do think that something's wrong with the government, you think something's wrong with the country, say yes. Who did it? Are you blaming rich people? Then you should vote for Bernie Sanders.
I could have told you that one.
If you blame Mexicans, Muslims,
That'd be Donald Trump.
okay, then you go to this next question. Hold on. When is Jesus coming back? If you don't know, you should vote for Donald Trump. If Jesus is coming back next week, you should vote for Ted Cruz.
That's pretty great.
That's pretty good. And on that note, I think we'll go ahead and come to the end of podcast number 31. I'd like to thank the guys in studio, Frank, Buddy, Sean, and Jack. Thank you, gentlemen, again for spending your Friday night with me. We'll be back next week for podcast number 32. This podcast can be heard on SoundCloud, YouTube, and iTunes. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, like us on Facebook. As always, guys,
Bye.
I don't know anything else to say. I guess not. All right, anyways, go Spurs, go.
There is a pubic hair on my keyboard.
You're welcome.